What is going on, everybody? Back on the New England Shakeup. Alex and Cam back again. Dodo, as we call him here on the Shakeup. And me, the New England Shakeup. So I think that today we just start by shouting out a couple sponsors of ours. First off, shout out to the No Man Fantasy Sports Podcast. Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m., YouTube and Twitch. Love Mitch. Love what he's doing over there. Cam and I, we talk very highly of Mitch. He's a very good dude. So make sure you guys go and check them out tonight at 9 on Twitch and YouTube. Also, shout out to Del Frisco's Double Edge Steakhouse down there in Boston, Massachusetts. Great steakhouse to go to. Great steakhouse to eat at. And just great exotic drinks that, if you're feeling up for it on the weekend day, go in, have a drink, go out with your family. It's just a great time. But Cam, nonetheless, I think we have a lot to talk about with the Patriots and with what we saw on Sunday. Obviously, Cam, say what's up to the people. Say what's up to the YouTube family as we are live on StreamYard and on YouTube right now. So say what's up to the people.
Going on, everyone. I feel like it kind of goes without saying that we're missing this guy in the Gonzo jersey. I feel like that's the biggest thing I unpacked from this week. I mean, that and the fumbles, but we're going to get into the fumbles. I mean, not having Gonzo since the preseason, I mean, I don't really know what's going on with the injury. I feel like nobody really does when we thought he'd be back for week 2, and then it's keeps getting pushed back. But I feel like Gonzo would have stopped one of those touchdowns, and then the fumbles is really what killed us. A lot of the analysts were kind of criticizing Drake May, but I don't know how you can criticize him other than the fumble and I guess the interception too. But 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. You should win with stats like that when it's 21-14.
Yeah, you should win with stats like that. And based off of just our analysis and based off of Sunday's game, I think we just have to talk about the elephant in the room with the fumbles on Sunday. I think that was like the differentiator in the game. I mean, one of my favorite Steelers fans that is on TikTok, Coach Common, shout out to him, called me on Sunday and said to me, point blank period, that if we don't fumble, it's a blowout. And I think Cam and I both can agree to that. Aaron Rodgers did not look good. And I think, Cam, we've talked about it several times in the offseason, but now I think it's starting to really, big question marks behind our head as to Aaron Rodgers is not mobile anymore. So he's kind of sitting back there like a sitting duck. And for the defense on Sunday, that was great. But for this week's game that's coming up, they have to play a mobile Bryce Young. What do you think the difference is in playing somebody like an Aaron Rodgers as opposed to a Bryce Young for this defense? And obviously, you just mentioned Gonzo. We'll get news about him tomorrow morning, if he's practicing again or not. So what is your analysis based off of what you think Rodgers does, more, better, or I think we can both agree that Bryce is a little bit more elusive. But talk about what the differences are of a defense playing against a Bryce Young as opposed to an Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, that's everything. I feel like we had Rodgers figured out in basically the first, second quarter. There wasn't anything that he was going to do to shock us. I mean, he had a few really nice passes where he dissected us, but at the same time, it was our defense either not giving up or not communicating. That, yeah. I think it was the second or third touchdown, the one that Austin scored where he was just wide open when nobody was anywhere. That just is a lack of discipline. In general, Rodgers didn't look great. I mean, of course, the mobility aspect hurts him. But with Bryce Young, I feel like especially what we saw last week, he can just make plays out of nowhere. I mean, any of the young quarterbacks, Drake May can do it too, but Bryce Young's going to be a big question mark to try and defend. I don't think we're going to necessarily figure him out like we did Rodgers. And the mobility is everything to why we're not going to be able to figure him out as easily.
Yeah, and also we both know that the Panthers drafted Ted McMillan in the first round, right?
Yeah, he's really good.
What do you think from a defensive perspective? I mean, we're going to have to play 2-6-4 wide receivers on Sunday. And Xavier Legette and Tet McMillan, like you just brought up the Gonzo jersey, I think that's the elephant in the room. Like, Gonzo, if you're hearing this, and I know you follow the shakeup and you shout us out all the time, shout out to Gonzo, we want to make sure that you're healthy, gang, but at the same time, like, the 30th ranked passing defense in football is a big reason why you're not on the field. With that said, these 6'4 receivers, how do you defend them? Because are you going to put a small Marcus Jones on them? Probably not. I think Carlton Davis is due for a big game on Sunday because he's got to earn that contract, right? So talk about that. Talk about Carlton Davis. Talk about the matchup of Tet McMillan against him, seeing that Gonzo might not play on Sunday.
I mean, with Tet McMillan, the whole thing is it's like, I don't want to say impossible to guard him because his last few games haven't been necessarily super impressive with stats. But just like his athleticism, like, yeah, he's 6'4", but he's almost like how like a Calvin Johnson or like a Larry Fitz is. Like, he can get up for passes. It's not like he's like Ed Too Tall that can barely jump. He gets up. Some of the plays he makes are pretty insane, but Carlton Davis, for the most part, is pretty disciplined. Like, he's not going to necessarily get burned for big yards. Like, he might get a few catches where they go over him or something, but he's not going to be like that play that we saw last year where I think it was Peppers and Gonzo just got like split through by DK for that touchdown when we were at that Seahawks game. There's not going to be a play like that happens. There's not going to be like I don't think like a 40, 50, 60-yard type of play, but there are going to be definitely some like 5-10ers here where he goes to like the sideline and might beat Carlton Davis, but it's not going to be any like huge plays. And like, to your point, this is kind of the game where they're going to have to show, like, if we don't come out and put belt to ass, it's going to be a long season. We're probably not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think we have to touch on that for a second with the playoff perspective. Like, the Patriots, from an outsider's perspective, everybody thought in the offseason, like, you bring in all these pieces, you should get better, right? So now our question is, if they lose this game on Sunday, right, they start off at 1-3, we are looking at nobody else than the head coach. And I hate to break it to everybody like that, but that's what you're looking at. You're not looking at the players that you paid all this money. And by the way, we do have something to talk about when it comes to paying a high dollar player with the Patriots as well, coming up in a second. But with all of these pieces you bring in, you should see improvement. I don't care if it's 3 games. I don't care if it's 7 games. But you have to see some improvement, right? So with both of us at the beginning of the year, we both said, like, yeah, there's a chance that they could make some noise, but it comes down to a lot of things. Now those things that we talked about in the offseason and a couple weeks before the season started, we are seeing yet again. And I hate to break it to everybody, Drake May's playing pretty damn well right now. I can't understand the Boston media, and shout out to Mike Felger, even though we love your show. Calling him Drake maybe is not okay. The kid has balled out. He went down to Miami, something that we haven't done since 2019, and won a game. That is something that that's the last time Brady won in Miami. So what does that tell you about the Patriots and where they're going? It kind of shows, like, all those things that they couldn't get over in the past, they're getting over, but all those things that they could get over in the past, they're not getting over. So with that said, let me ask you something. Stephon Diggs, $23 million per season. Is he showing out right now?
He isn't, but I feel like the scheme is just not like how he operates. Like, I don't want to just say we should exactly like copy what Buffalo was doing when he was on Buffalo, but I feel like just the routes they're giving him are just not his type of routes. And I don't know. I mean, maybe he's lost a little bit in the athleticism category, but he should still be like 40 to 75 yards a game, more targets. I feel like they're trying to get like the younger guys involved and are using him more of like a veteran role in like the aspect of trying to like coach the other guys up. Like, I mean, he was doing a lot of like one-on-one stuff with Polk before he got hurt. So I
Yeah,
think that's more of his role now. But at the same time, it's like you can definitely get more out of him.
right.
I feel like some of the play call on offense, like if we didn't hand it off as many times and went for some different plays, like passing. I mean, and still Drake May threw over like 250 yards. So is it more about just trying to get him involved instead of like a Stevenson or somebody like that? Who knows?
Or, I mean, it's been Keyshawn Booty the last 2 weeks, it seems like. I mean,
Yeah,
like you said, they're trying to get the younger guys involved. But with what you just said about getting the younger guys involved, younger guys comes with less experience. And let's be honest, we don't like to throw him out here and we don't like to make him the brute of what happened. But Demario Douglas, you need to know where you're at on the field. Like, a fourth down, right? The game's on the line. You know how many yards you need to get, and you run your route a yard short. That comes down to being unexperienced. And I hate to
yeah,
break it like that, but it comes down to not enough reps, right? Obviously, not enough reps with Drake to know exactly where to go, where to stop on a dime, where the defense is clouding a coverage. You need to know where to go. Diggs, to me, can be that security blanket, right? Can be that
yeah,
other guy that's not Hunter Henry that on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, you go to Diggs because you know he's going to run the right route. He's going to run the right route in the route tree, and he's going to be able to get open and get separation, which we all assumed that's what we were paying $23 million for. With that not happening, we could potentially be in a little bit of cap flux in the next couple of years with what goes on with Diggs. What does he have to do this week for you and I, who we've done this show for a couple of years now? What do you think Diggs needs to do on Sunday for Patriots fans to kind of calm down? Because I'll be honest, if you read anything on Twitter right now about Stephon Diggs and the Patriots, it's not good.
yeah. I mean, for Patriots fans, I feel like somewhere between like 60 and 100 yards and a touchdown. But honestly, for me, I would be fine with like 50 yards and a touchdown. And to your point, like have him be the guy you go to on third down. You know that he's going to run the route that's going to get you the first down. You know that he's aware of where he's going, where he is on the field. Like Pop Douglas looked lost a few plays, at least a few plays on the game. And then I don't know. I feel like he's so hit or miss. Like he's so either like locked in and his hands are ready, or he's just I don't want to say butterfingers because we like Pop on the shake up, but I feel like I don't know. Like sometimes he's just not. I feel like ready for the ball to be coming to him. Maybe is the better way to put it.
Yeah, and do you think he potentially, I mean, we said it about like the younger guys, right? Like before the season started, like how much are they going to be able to handle this McDaniels offense, right? Like
Yeah,
how much are they going to be able to take everything in, know where to be, know where to go, know which route to run. I mean, for the running backs, I mean, know which hole to cut on, right? There's a lot of things that come down with McDaniel's offense. It's all based off of timing and execution. So if you're not executing with the right timing for Drake, that's why you saw Hunter Henry with 2 touchdowns on Sunday. That's why. Yeah,
yeah,
when you can't get open, Drake's gonna go where he knows. Even if you're not open, I still trust you enough to make a play. Have you seen that with Diggs yet? Have you seen that with Pop yet? I haven't. Have you?
no, I haven't.
So you would hope that at some point, these younger guys that are on this roster, like Demario Douglas, you're a 6th-round pick, bruh. Like, you're not guaranteed a spot next year. I hate to break it to him. You're playing this year for your spot. I mean, there is a kid who we were raving about in preseason, Efton Chisholm. Where has he been? I don't know. I don't know. You bring in all these pieces, you go out and you find a diamond in the rough like an Efton Chisholm, and then you don't play him. Like, I understand you're paying Diggs what you're paying him, and Demario Douglas is what he is. But at some point, Chisholm has to get some role with this team, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the wide receiver room was already packed. And then with like Kendrick leaving, it kind of opened a spot up for somebody to step up. And I feel like, if anything, nobody really stepped up and it just went more to Hunter Henry, which he was already going to be like one of our top three options on the offense the whole year. We knew that going into the season. And I feel like it's just gone more to him when it should
Yeah,
have gone to another like receiver. I mean, Hunter Henry's playing lights out. I love how he's playing. I'm not saying anything to criticize how he's playing, but you'd like to think that he wouldn't just force like to the tight end as much. But if it's working, that's what you got to do. I mean, the only reason we even got 14 points was because of Hunter Henry.
right. I mean, yeah. I mean, if anything happens to Hunter Henry, I mean, God forbid. But with that said, I think let's dissect kind of Sunday's game as far as like with what went on with the Steelers. So obviously we had the fumbles go on. We had that touchdown by Calvin Austin. Was there anything else from that game that stood out to you that either we may have been really good at on Sunday or something that we might not have been as good on Sunday?
I mean, I'll give one of each. I feel like we had already talked about it before the show, but like our front four and front seven played amazing. I mean, the pressure they put on Rodgers, the lack of yards all around. Like, no receiver had more than 50 yards, no running back had more than 50 yards. So we held them as tight as we could on defense in the front.
Yeah.
And then the secondary just, I don't know if like what even really happened. I feel like you'd be able to dissect that more than I can, but the secondary I feel like kind of crapped the bed. And then with the fumbles, like your buddy said, who's a Steelers fan, like those fumbles don't happen, we kill them. Like, even if we
Yeah.
just score a field goal on each of those drives, we still win by 6 points.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we do have to talk about something else too. Like, is it me or do you feel like we've been a little bit more penalized than we were last year? Like, it feels like
Definitely.
yeah, it feels like this year we've been more penalized than like we've gotten calls, right? And it's not that I think that it has anything to do with like the referees or anything, because we're not lame. We're not going to make that excuse. Like, the Steelers won fair and square. Um, but I would say this, like, you have to earn calls, right? Like, we kind of understand that. Like, Brady, when he was here, he earned the calls, right? So now Drake and these receivers and some of these younger guys, like, you have to go out there and you have to try to draw some penalties. Like,
Yeah.
for just the first 3 games, right? Have you seen Drake take a deep shot, like 5-step drop, take a deep shot just to see if he can get a penalty? I
No,
haven't
and I
seen it
feel like a
yet.
lot of that has to do with the criticism of like last year of like him throwing picks, or like even like this game, a lot of people criticized him for the pick instead of going down or throwing it away.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of in the back of his mind on why he doesn't go for some of the deep shots he could.
Yeah, and maybe it's like in the back of his head too, like maybe I don't have enough time. Like, the offensive
Yeah.
line isn't holding up enough. Like, maybe it's an uncertainty there from how last year played and it's only been a couple games. But you saw how many times on Sunday that the Steelers, like, how many loops they were bringing on the offensive line. It felt like Morgan Moses was getting beat off the jump every single play by TJ
Oh yeah.
Watt. And it's not that we're saying that Morgan Moses is gonna stop TJ Watt, right? But we would hope that he could limit him. And the get off that he was getting on Sunday was crazy, and that's why Drake was going so quickly with the ball on Sunday, is because there was a lot of pressure on that right side of the line. With that said, Cam, do you have anything else that you want to talk about with this Patriots recap episode for this week?
I mean, I think the only thing I really got is I'd like to see next week more of Henderson with running than Stevenson, and I feel like maybe they just use Stevenson like how they did for the receiving this week. I mean, I know a fumble's going to happen whether you're receiving the ball or running with it, but I feel like you're less likely on a route to fumble it rather than running. And then, I mean, Spillane and Landry really impressed me. I mean, I feel like we barely talked about them, but
Yeah,
those were like the two bright spots on the defense. And I feel like you add Gonzo with Davis, so Marcus Jones isn't out on some of those plays where the whole first drive was honestly his fault. Like we had
yeah,
them on a third down and a second down, and he gave up two, in my opinion, stupid fouls. Like he didn't need to do that. And like that first drive could have changed the whole game. Like they just
yeah,
kind of like marched down with the penalties for a touchdown to basically start the game. So, I mean, I think just Spillane, Landry, Hunter were definitely like the shining spots on the team. Drake May had a great game, but he can't necessarily do it all to win it for us when we give up the game with penalties and fumbles.
yeah. Yeah, so shout out to Patriots Nation. Shout out to the New England Shakeup, the best New England sports podcast on the map right now. Make sure you guys check us out on all platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, uh, playback, everything. We are on everything, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you guys check us out there. But the one thing that I do want to say to everybody is everybody have a great week. We will be back next Tuesday around the same time, 5:40 p.m. Eastern Time, for another Patriots recap episode here on the New England Shakeup. Cam and Alex out today, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.